centuries later is when our story begins.
How is it that I might help you?
Welcome to tonight's episode of Another One Bites the Dice. Kelsey was just about to say something. Did you want to finish? No? Great. Okay. So our players, my beautiful 4 players, 4 out of the 5 are here. We miss our Zooty
James
Zoot.
isn't beautiful.
But the token looks good, so, you know, that's something. They're going to introduce themselves quickly, starting with Nell.
Hi, I'm Nell. I play Lady Isadora, who is a Twilight Cleric Ranger.
Woo! Liana. Oh yeah, wait, this is Liana's first intro. Who are you? Who you playing?
My name is Liana. I was like, my name's Athena. And I will be playing Athena LaCroix. She is a damper fighter with a speciality in psionic shit. She's a psi fighter.
Psi fighter. Ha.
Or warrior. I don't know, something like
Sweet. Kelsey.
Hi, I'm Kelsey. This is my 7th cappuccino.
Oh boy.
Hi, Kelsey.
Oh boy.
It's been an emotional week. I play.
We're actually having a Caffeineaholics Anonymous meeting in this stream.
Fuck off.
Who do you play, Kelsey?
I play Winnie, Fatooine.
What?
She's an artificer.
Sweet. Sam.
Hello, I'm Sam. I play Hector, who is a Ranger Paladin.
Palinger.
Palantir.
Rangadin?
Rangadin.
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 I like it. And oh boy, there goes the 7th cappuccino all over the computer. We may lose Kelsey, folks.
You know what that means? It means number 8 is on the way!
Oh man. Okay. Well, we are picking up after last session's introduction of Athena to the campaign.
Oh boy.
So to recap a bit, our
I'm sorry.
our players.
Here's this recap, Tyler.
Yeah,
Let's hear this
we're gonna give it a shot. We're gonna give the recap a
I'm
shot.
sorry. This is
So-
not gonna go well.
So our 5 players 2 sessions ago were combing through the manor Argynvostholt, where the silver dragon Argynvost was rumored to have lived during his time in Barovia, was slain by Strahd, and they were attempting to find clues that may have lent themselves to either reanimating this dragon, bringing the dragon back, allying themselves with the dragon's knights. They really weren't sure kind of what was going to happen, but they knew that something was potentially going to happen at that manor. They encountered multiple groups of Argynvost's former knights, who were now in these sort of revenant bodies, these reanimated corpses, overmatched the party, and 3 members of the party, Winnie, Willa, and Isadora, all fell. That's where last session picked up, was Zoot and Hector buddy copping it away on the roof of the manor, trying to figure out what to do. And starting to be able to put together some clues. They were aided by a mysterious wind and some ravens that floated a very important piece of paper down to them, that I hope they still have with them. But as they were leaving the manor house to kind of gather themselves, they were stalked and confronted by this mysterious dark-haired woman in the shadows of the manor who had been looking for someone, her wife, Esmeralda, who our party had met previously. Athena sort of assessed the situation with Hector and Zoot, saw the fallen party members, Isadora and Winnie, and told Zoot and Hector of this healer in the village of Kreshk up to the northwest, where they would be able to find, hopefully, someone who could raise the 2 fallen. They made it to Kreshk. Zoot, Hector, and Athena encountered the very, very reluctant burgomaster of the village, who at first blush was not going to let them join, but instead was mostly concerned with keeping both friends and enemies of Strahd just at arm's length, far, far away. Zoot made very clear that they were going to make their way in one way or another, and broke through the front gates of the village. They made their way up to the abbey and were greeted by 2 mongrel folk at the front gates. They brought the abbot out, and the abbot was accompanied by what at first looked to be a woman. Very quickly, you 3 realized that it was sort of a stitched together mannequin of a
we
person.
Really skipped over that. We really did not address that fact.
There were other things that things going on.
There's more important
some
things.
other things
It's
going on.
Barovia.
But
sometimes there's stitched up women.
But
it happens.
there was the abbot, who was very kind but also very
Wasn't he supposedly hot?
businesslike.
Tyler said that and then posted a picture, and he just looked creepy.
Well, I mean, creepy hot, they often go hand in hand. But he requested a gown.
Do they?
Requested a gown that Athena was able to produce and present. A wedding dress for this woman, Vasilka, that was accompanying him, that wasn't speaking and was just sort of stitched together.
So glad we were unconcerned about that.
And then he raised them, seemingly with an incredible amount of magical prowess, was able to simultaneously, without any components, diamonds, nothing in his hands or on his person that you were able to see, was able to
We should have stayed.
was able
we should have stayed
to
at the Abbot. We
bring
found
was able to bring these 2 back to life very easily. and took the dress and left. And now the party has a decision to make, and the decision to fight Strahd at all cost. It seems like Zoot particularly was adamant that there was something burning in his being that was pushing him and propelling him to pursue Strahd's demise at all costs. And that led him to agree with Athena that they should head back to Van Richten's tower, where they last left Esmeralda. And so they went, the 5 of them, on Esmeralda's cart. To Van Richten's tower, and that is where we picked up, is with the 5 of them on the road in the cart, on the way to the tower. Does anyone want to have any conversations in the cart, or do you just want to fast forward to arrival at the tower?
Isadora aggressively does not want to have conversations in the cart and is just sleeping.
Okay.
Writing in her journal and sleeping.
Same.
I imagine that Hector is probably like trying to regale Athena with some of his stories, like from his time in the military. And so I just imagine like we cut to him, you know, and he's just like, and that's when I learned to never put a tabaxi in bathwater in Brem.
Where's Brem? I only know of Breme.
Oh, is that how it's pronounced?
Yeah, Breme.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was Bream, so you know.
I also thought it was Bream.
Pretty sure it's Bream, but it's fine.
It's Breme. I'm the one running the Icewind Dale campaign, so I get.
You also pronounce it Fatooine when the I is in front of the U, so I take very, very little.
How dare you?
Station!
Okay,
Being
so
rude to the dyslexic.
Hector is regaling Athena with. Is Hector regaling Athena in the hopes of like scoring?
No, I think he's just.
Okay.
I think he's just trying to keep himself entertained.
Trying to keep the vampire lady happy, so the vampire lady doesn't
kill them
hurt
all.
him.
Yeah.
Athena, are you sharing stories with Hector? Or
No.
are you just listening?
I'm just listening and I'll nod occasionally, but I'm just focusing on the road.
This one time at army camp.
Winnie, are you were up front.
I was. I'm probably gonna crash
Okay.
at some point, both in character and out of character.
Oh boy.
Cheers. So I imagine that's gonna happen because of the exhaustion, and I just need to back up. I set up some janky, half-ass, elaborate trap around my neck in case the vampire tries to drink blood from me. There's like a little bell that'll ring and wake me up.
Y'all, you finally did it. You got Winnie to wear a bell. It's all you've been trying to do for the entire campaign. Okay, so Winnie has this elaborate contraption, like necklace.
It's not a necklace.
Oh.
It's just like you know how when they have the spy movies and they set up like little
It's like a tripwire.
tripwires? Yeah, like
Okay.
a tripwire thing in the cart.
Cool.
Yeah.
But just around your neck.
Just like exactly. Like you know.
Just
with the
you or
perimeter.
Isadora's too?
I do it probably just me.
Okay.
Probably just me. I don't like
All right,
No,
so
no.
I need Hector and Athena to give me a perception check.
So, anyways, as I was saying, you know, they left the town afterwards, and you know, with what was left of their kin. That was a 17.
13. I'm so enthralled by his story that
Apparently.
I
Oh boy. Okay. Hector, you are keenly aware of the group of blue-tipped ravens that are sort of circling above your heads as the cart progresses southward first, sort of down the switchbacks from Kresk, and then cuts eastward towards Van Richten's tower, where you left Esmeralda, Irina, and Ismark.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll kind of just be like, ah, the people from the inn. They must be watching us.
Oh, I actually, I think I met them.
Oh yeah, I don't remember their names, both in character and out of character.
Hector, do you want to roll a history check to see if Hector would remember them?
Sure.
Because it's fair, you may not have.
16.
Yeah, Darwin,
Flat-
or not Darwin.
Darwin.
Erwin, and
Oh.
Danica.
Erwin and Danica.
Martikov. Yeah.
Martikov, that was the one.
And what
I
are
was
their
like,
sons' names for 2 bonus points?
No.
Hector doesn't care about kids.
Yeah, Erwin and Danica. Danica. Martikov.
Yes, they actually, they informed me that you were with Esmeralda at one point.
Oh. Did you see a tiger?
A what?
Tiger, it's like a big cat.
No, I don't think I did.
Still haven't found the tiger.
I did see, well, oh, I didn't tell you about this, did I? I did see a large Goliath.
Oh, really?
Mm,
Are you talking about Belinda?
I don't, who's Belinda?
That was the Goliath's name, was Belinda. Did you meet Belinda?
It wasn't her, right, Tyler?
You never knew the name of the
Yeah.
Goliath.
What did the Goliath look like?
I described Belinda.
Was that Belinda?
There's no character named Belinda, so
Oh,
I don't know who Hector's describing.
I described Belinda.
That yes, you recognize from the description that Blunda is the one that Hector is referring to, is the one that you saw killed.
Yeah, shame what happened to her. That's why we have to stop Strahd.
Well, and that's one of the reasons.
True. Multitude.
Your family doesn't seem to like me much.
Yeah. You get used to it.
I'm not sure if there's anything I can do to earn their trust, but I am willing to try.
Yeah. I mean, if I think of anything, I'll let you know, but I don't know. They probably just need some time.
Of course.
I mean, you did help us save their lives, so I'm appreciative of that.
Of course. However, I am half of what they hate.
Just to be clear, just out of character so everyone knows, Isadora does not give a fuck about her being a vampire.
She doesn't know
Just
that.
Say it.
Athena
Not
doesn't.
shit.
Athena doesn't
I
know that.
Athena doesn't know that. I just need everyone else to know.
Yo, just
girl
rewind
is
it
not a
and you
bigot here.
literally see the synchronous. Like,
I just need everyone
Hey
to
man,
Mel and I are just like-
hey, y'all are sleeping, and Athena gets
Athena
that.
can believe whatever
Athena
she
gets that a
wants.
lot in Barovia. So
Yeah,
that's kind of what her initial reaction to hostility tends to be.
Yeah, but like there's
Makes
half
sense.
of you that they like as well. So I mean 50-50, it's really, that's I mean they probably don't even like 50% of me, to be honest. So,
That's fair, I suppose. nervous.
About what?
Seeing Esmeralda.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. How long has it been again?
Too long.
Yeah.
You know, when you're as old as I am, time flows differently.
How old are you?
Do you want to know?
I asked.
How old am I again? I'm old.
I'm finally not the old person in the party.
um, I'm 321 years old.
Wait, what? Wow. That is impressive.
I mean, not really. I've met older vampires.
What's your
Your friend-
skincare routine?
You know, I like to rub myself in blood.
Oh.
I'm joking.
Hector just goes, "Oh," super earnestly. Like, yeah, that makes sense.
No, I don't age. So. Plus,
Sounds
staying
handy.
out in the sun really does help.
Yeah. Not a fan.
Of staying out of the sun?
No, I'm not a fan of being in the sun either.
Yeah. Makes you all hot. Not me, but I imagine you. Tyler, it's been like a couple 100 years, right?
Yeah, since you've seen her.
So
What?
it's been a couple 100 years. I'm not even sure if she knows who I am.
Is she immortal?
Esmeralda, it's a bit complex. Tyler, I don't know what she is, right?
You just know that you grew up together, and you learned probably about 70 or 80 she left.
But she still like looked the same.
Oh yeah, looked the same, and you know that she's still alive because you got word that she had been seen, which is why you came.
Mm-hmm. Do I know that she had her mind wiped?
Mhm.
Right. Do I know who did it? Okay.
Who do we think?
Well, did you tell Hector that?
There's only like two
I
possibilities.
was
here.
gonna get to that. I don't think she ages normally. I don't know
Well,
exactly.
not if she's a couple hundred years old. No. She definitely doesn't look a couple hundred.
She won't remember me. Her mind has been wiped. I'm not sure by who.
Well, there's Strahd. That seems like a Strahd thing to do. And then there's also this Van Richten character. I don't know that he would do it, but I also don't know anybody else that would let a tiger loose in a city. So
Does Van Richten? Does it sound okay?
Well, I shouldn't say that. You know the name. This is the first you've heard, other than the references to the tower, that he's in Barovia, or has been.
Do I know of him?
Mm-hmm. You know that he's a famous monster hunter,
Okay.
sort of generically.
So she's been with him?
yeah, I mean that's. I thought she was born here. That's the impression I was under. But yeah, she's been his protege for some time. It seems. Was unclear exactly on how long.
Interesting. when we
But
get
yeah.
there, I'm probably I don't want to frighten her or anyone else, so I may stay back a bit. If you would, I don't think it would be helpful for her to know who I am. I mean, she won't remember, but there's no need to mention that I'm her wife.
Okay. If that's how you want to handle it, then that's how
Not
we'll do it.
not until I figure out how to reverse the effects on her mind. I don't want to scare her.
Yeah, there's probably something. Maybe the abbot can help.
Oh yeah, that guy. Talk about vampires. How old is he? He did all that stuff without the diamond and everything. Never seen it before. He must be some sort of god.
And
I
you
don't
just
know.
left him.
And we just left him with his corpse bride person.
I didn't know that. Well, I just assumed that they wouldn't be allowed to get married, but
Well, he
were
said he
they
was
allowed?
preparing it for Strahd, I believe.
Her?
Yeah.
Oh, missed that. Corpse bride.
Can you shut the door? Yes. Thanks.
He says to Athena.
Yes.
Yeah. Close the door.
I said thank you. And please.
Yeah. I'm not sure I could get your family in on this as well. But I mean, you can just say that we found each other and Argon lost.
Yeah. I mean,
That is what happened.
that is what happened. Yeah. Of
I appreciate it.
course.
Conversation sort of ebbs and flows throughout your ride,
Shalash.
and you cross the Luna River crossroads and turn off the main Svalak road and cut north, and you see in front of you the tower tucked on the peninsula at the edge of the lake that you recognize, Hector. Pull the cart up in front, and you see the lights on the fourth floor are flickering through the windows.
Do I see another trap on the door?
The door's actually open. I know it's not in this
The
shop.
door's not. Leaving the door open in Barovia? You just want flesh mounds to come wandering in?
The cart. I was gonna say, so the cart sort of jolts to a stop, and Zoot sort of clambers down and doesn't really say much. Just sort of walks stolidly away from the cart, just rubbing the back of his neck. Winnie and Isadora, you wake up, and
Oh, we're here.
I'm gonna get out of the cart and throw up a little bit.
Winnie and Isadora, you would both have gotten a long rest. So that'll be the first long rest.
-3, baby.
Yes.
Baby.
I'm gonna look like such a dick move, but I'd like the record to show that I sent Mel this message before Athena said anything to Sam. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get out of the cart and yell, "Hey, Esmeralda! Your wife is here! Come get your wife! We found your wife! She's looking for you!"
She did send me that message before Liana said a word.
We got your
Can
wife!
confirm.
That's something Winnie would do.
She claims she's your wife!
Okay, after like 2 or 3, Hector would be like, I'm supposed to say, hey, keep it down. We're not supposed to say anything.
Oh, what do you mean? I thought. Oh,
Well,
what
so
do you mean?
it's a thing with the mind wipe, and You
If
were
I had a
sleeping.
wife, if I had
No.
a wife, I would want to know that they're
Right,
here.
no, I said, yeah. Just leave it be.
Why
I'm
aren't you
just
telling her
I'll get out.
we're united? She
I
said she was looking
would-
for her wife. This is
I
her
would
wife.
also
Wait.
check on Lady Isadora to make sure that she's okay.
Yeah, you would.
I'm done vomiting. I've got a cloak
Okay.
wrapped very tightly all over. I don't really want to go in there, but I guess
Hector
we're here,
will
so I guess I'm
hand
gonna
you
have to.
will hand you his water skin.
Thank you.
I'm gonna approach the yelling girl. And
There's an F and what comes after an F? WIF Z wife Z wife
Wait.
Z.
Are you
What?
is Zoot rubbing off on you, Winnie?
I just got resurrected from the dead. I don't know what. I don't know nothing. I just was told that she's Esmeralda's wife, and Esmeralda's in there.
Winter,
Ah!
Esmeralda isn't going to know who I am. I haven't seen her in 200 years. Her memory
How
was
old are
wiped
you?
by
Oh
someone,
my god.
and she has no idea who I am. So, because I do
So
not
you
wish to
lied to us? Are you not her wife?
I am
Wow.
her wife, but her mind was wiped by someone here in Barovia.
Well, they have, you know, if you're true loves, then that breaks all curses, so you should be good.
I don't think that's how that works, Winter.
Ooh.
Also, true love isn't real and all that.
And as
Oh,
as
yes.
as Lady Isadora says, true love isn't real. You hear the sort of door. There's like a movement at the door,
Is Ark walks down.
and
I want to die.
and through the doorway,
I'm fucking dead.
Ismark and Irina step down the front steps of the tower, and he has a sort of thick white wrap around his throat. And he just sort of looks over you all. And
I might
Irina
go throw up a little bit more.
Irina just like runs to Zoot and like throws her arms around him, and then moves over to you, Winnie, and like grabs you and hugs you. And Isadora, she doesn't even care that you're vomiting. She just runs up to you and holds you.
Oh,
I am
you, dear.
we missed you too. I'm so happy to see you all alive. Where is Willa?
We don't know, but we don't think. I kind of glance
We-
over at Winter and then back to
We
Irene.
have to find her. We gotta find her.
Maybe, or maybe not.
Where was she? What happened? Where? And she just sort of glances over to you, Athena, and I am sorry, Irina Kolyana, and you are?
She smiles a little bit. Athena LaCroix.
Do you smile wide enough that your fangs are visible?
No, just
Okay.
She's the wife of Esmeralda, but we're not supposed to say that.
Shut up.
But we're not. Keep it. Shh.
perhaps I should give you a bit of some history as to why I'm here. I think it could be helpful to all of you.
Yes, please. Come inside. Let's go upstairs. This place is very tricky, but we think we figured it out. The clay things downstairs are treating us nicely for now. You said you knew Esmeralda. She is not here. She went out, but she will be back.
Dang it! There goes a reunion.
She'll be back eventually. She said it would not be more than a day or so. She said she had heard some news about her friend. That's all she said to us. But either way, let's let's go upstairs and we've got some food. We can sit and we can hear your stories. And Zoot just sort of nods, grabs Winnie in one arm, grabs Isadora in the other, and just kind of lumbers into the tower and just shoots up the middle
Yeah, you know what? That's fine.
and lands on the fourth
That's
floor.
fine. We'll let that happen. She's like frozen. She was not. She's fine.
Irina and Ismark, as Zoot sort of blows past Ismark in the doorway, he just sort of follows you with his eyes, Isadora, but doesn't say anything.
That's cool. I'm not looking at him. I'm really aggressively not looking at him.
Making a very obvious choice to not look at him. Got it.
I'm having a bad time.
Irina just sort of goes, okay, I guess we will take the elevator?
Yeah,
Yes?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he does that.
Okay.
It's a thing.
Sure. So you head in and head up to the fourth floor, which the room's tight. It's cramped, but you can see they've sort of made it homier than it was the first time you were in here. The bed's made, there are candles lit, the windows are open to sort of let a breeze through. There's fresh food, new food cooking in the fire. And you all kind of, it's tight, so you all kind of have to sit in like a little circle around that central hole where the elevator is. And Irina just sort of passes around these little bowls and plates of hot steaming food, and it's the first real meal you've had in a few days that aren't just sort of trail rations. And so it is hitting the spot for those of you that are willing and able to keep food down at this moment.
I take like 2
I'm not going to assume. I'm not going to assume. I'm just going to say. And Irina just sort of looks around the circle of you all and okay, well, so we will we will have to go and find Willa, but Athena, you wanted to sort of, well, just tell us what you would like to say. Perfect timing, always.
Yeah. So I want to be honest with you all, first and foremost. I'm a damper.
Yeah,
I'm-
like dampen the mood.
And
I
Irina
agree.
just sort of cocks her head and she looks at Ismark, and Ismark sort of takes a hand and kind of puts it in front of Irina and takes a step forward.
No. I know all about her. I don't wish to give you to him. I wish to kill him. Strahd. Let me just go from the beginning, shall we? I was born 321 years ago to Apollo and Coronis LaCroix. Apollo was my father. Coronis was my mother. Coronis, she was a vampire and she fell in love with my father. Her abilities were kind of mind-based, whereas my father was a fighter. I met Esmeralda when I started training with my father, and we fell in love. Because of the nature of my family, we were often sent off on missions. And eventually, my father was sent off on a mission. his mission was to infiltrate the von Zervich family. However, he knew that if he did that, he would not be coming back. So eventually, I got word that he did die, but we're not really sure how. So I settled down with Esmeralda and we lived a wonderful life for many years. I started training vigorously, trying to keep myself focused. Eventually, Esmeralda disappeared one day and didn't come home, which wasn't, well, it wasn't odd because we were used to being sent out on missions for the family, but I expected her to return, but she never did. Few hundred years passed and my mother eventually died. But before she died, she told me that Esmeralda lived here in Barovia, and that her mind had been wiped. So here I am. I'm well aware of your family history, well, your personal history and who you are. And I'm here to avenge my father and find my wife because I am almost positive that Strahd is responsible for his death. I just don't know how he died. And I think that's it. I think I covered all of my history.
Winnie, Isadora, and Hector, which of you read the journal? Classic.
Hector.
Won't even pretend.
Okay.
Won't even pretend.
Hector did not read.
I'm
I mean,
insulted you had to ask me that question.
So Winnie and
I
Isadora.
think
Oh,
I
go
think
ahead,
Hector would have read it in character.
Okay.
Player Sam has not read.
Okay, but Hector would have. So
Yes.
give me a history check, all three of you.
Okay. 17
Minus
for Hector.
3.
Uh,
Do I get a
Minus-
bonus for having read it in real life?
You can have DM inspiration. There you go.
Thanks.
Do both
I'm not
of us
gonna
get
spend
that?
it on this.
Sure,
oh,
because you actually read what I
I read Tyler's
half
dissertation
wrote, half
too.
stole.
Do I get inspiration for that?
Sam, you got a 17 again?
Yes.
-3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not for me.
Well, guess who has maxed out intelligence and proficiency in history? So a -3 still is like a +5 on me.
I got a 15.
Okay.
17.
Okay. All three of you actually recognize a couple things from Athena's story that ring strangely familiar to some of the stories that you read in that journal. So you remember that the LaCroix pop up multiple times, and that the sort of culmination of what you have so far that you've been able to unlock was that an assassin who had infiltrated Strahd's inner circle of bannermen betrayed him, revealed himself to be a LaCroix. His men murdered the wedding guests at Sergei and Tatiana's wedding, right? Which sort of led to all of the culmination of events. And the name in the book that you remember, those of you that read it, I'm not looking at Zoot, was Leo Delisnia. Now, whether or not you say this to Athena, I don't know, but this is all coming back to you as she's telling you this story.
And
that,
this is Strahd's journal that we've been given, essentially, correct?
That
so
you
it's
were-
all written from his perspective.
from his perspective about
Right.
the events that you're now hearing from Athena about her father and her family history. That rings true to you.
You remember reading that, Lady Isadora? Remember in the journal?
Yes. Yes. I do.
Still don't know if I trust him.
Tell them. They should all know.
Yeah? Well, there might be a bit of truth to it. We have a journal from Strahd. That may or may not agree with what you've said.
You have his journal?
Ismark, like, at the same time, he just sort of, like, and
Oh, wait,
Irina's just like, stop.
Wait.
You have a journal from...
I could have sworn I told you about this. Didn't I tell you about this?
Well, I knew
I
that
got
you had... I was there when you unlocked it, but I did not know the contents. You took it with you, but you're saying that the stories that she is saying from the journal are, in fact...
Yeah, it mentions a LaCroix. I knew the name sounded familiar. And he was... Here, you should read it for yourself. And I opened the journal up to the specific spot where it...
Remind me, were you copying it at any point, or were you just keeping the original?
I 100% kept my own copy of it in case we ever lost it.
Okay, so right now, are you sharing the copies, or are you taking out the original?
The original.
Okay.
I didn't tell anyone I had a copy of it.
Got it, okay.
Um,
Irina sort of just, like, takes it, and she starts reading the first page, and then she kind of flips forward and realizes how much there is.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. This is,
Yeah.
This is a lot. Athena, you said that Esmeralda's mind was destroyed. We know of her as a Vistana, who was born here and was cast out of her people and has gone on to hunt monsters alongside this Van Richten person. That is what she told all of us.
Well, I suppose... Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Am I smart enough to, like, realize the connection there, that it's possible that Van Richten is the one that wiped her mind?
I mean, it's certainly a possibility in your mind, I think.
That and Hector did bring it up on the carriage.
Hector did bring it up on the carriage.
I know of Van Richten, obviously. I'm wondering if it's possible he may have wiped her memory of me. Maybe she wished to return, and he didn't want her to. Especially if she's good at what she does, and I know she's good at what she does.
This is...
Could be. I never met the man.
This is his home?
This is his tower, yes. Again, Esmeralda said she would be here in a day or so. It's been about that, but we haven't obviously heard yet.
Good to know. If you all wouldn't mind, I am going to go hunting on the grounds. And I will return once I'm done. Not for people.
And Zoot just sort of says, "Good. That's what I thought you meant. Good."
That was a good zoo voice, Tyler.
Perfect.
That's pretty much all you're gonna get.
Solid.
I'm not gonna play James's character.
It's like James is still here. It's like we're not even
James?
missing him.
We miss you, James.
I can.
Please come back.
I think.
We miss
Can
you.
I drink? Like, I can drink like animal blood, right?
Yeah.
That shit's fine.
Yeah.
I'm like a CW vampire.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going after,
sparkle.
you're like Voldemort or Quirrell. You're going after deer in the woods and shit.
Unicorn.
Unicorn
Yeah,
blood, yo.
Unicorns.
Yeah, right. So I'll leave you all to discuss things. And then she'll just get up and head on out.
Does she tell me? Okay, question. Do you take the elevator or do you just spider climb down the side of the wall?
Yeah, we're not gonna spider climb. I don't want to scare them.
Yeah, that's what I thought you meant. Yeah.
What?
Wait, where did he go?
He
Jesus
just came for that. He
Christ!
just came in for that.
Again.
What a fucking asshole.
Oh my god.
Great. Yeah, so she's just gonna head out.
Pay attention to your drive. Say hi to Thomas. All right, so Athena heads out. And
I missed it. Did she say she was spider climbing?
no, she took the
No.
elevator.
I think Hector might bring it up.
You've seen her do
Regardless,
it.
and just
Yeah.
and just be like,
They haven't.
Yeah,
Winter
like-
and Isadora have not.
right.
And
I'll be
but
like,
Zoot
yeah,
and
I'm
you have seen it.
surprised she didn't climb down the wall like she did that one time.
Excuse me?
Oh yeah, it's like she was
Like
on the
the
wall, and it was.
like
Can
the
you act it out for me? I'm having a hard time here.
Yeah, okay. So it's like, and Hector goes over to like the closest wall and he like attempts to like, he's like, yeah, so then she got, climbed and then, but her legs and hands were sticky. So she was able to just keep on going up the wall.
Oh.
Or it was magic. I mean, or a combination. I don't really know how it works. You'd have
Isn't
to ask
there
her.
a I'm pretty sure there's a spell called spider climb.
there is.
I don't
you
know.
would know. You would know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hector would not.
I would know.
Throughout this whole circle moment, Ismark is trying desperately to make eye contact with you. Are you ever going to look at him or no?
Yeah, I'll glance.
Okay.
I like she waits as long as she can, like just staring at a plate of uneaten food, but she'll finally just kind of she gives in, she glances over real fast.
And he just kind of looks at your face and just kind of rubs his cheek. And you remember in that moment when your hand
Fucking
touches your face
scales.
that you have scales
I wanna die.
running down the side of your neck.
Lizadora, everybody!
Lizadora, baby.
Lady Lizadora.
Again, it's not like your whole body
Yeah,
is
no,
covered,
no,
but
it's
there
just
are
like-
patches sort of on the left side of your face, down your arms, your hands where your scars are covered in scales.
Oh my god. Yeah, she just kind of half shrugs. Like barely a movement.
But he looks at Irina and just sort of references it, and she kind of, what happened?
We've all done a lot of dying
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I haven't, but you know, these two were dead, and Zoot and I and our new friend Athena had to find a way to bring them back.
And some upgrades, downgrades, but Winter doesn't have scales.
Just see Winter slowly fading into shadow. Huh?
She has either the long or short stick. I don't know. She's pulling on every bit of training she's ever received and slowly sliding back into like lady at a dinner, like the social the game.
Mhm.
She's slowly sliding back into it a little bit. As like her only coping mechanism here. Default to fancy. Default to
Or-
fancy and charming.
Before the lady comes back, we should talk.
Like
Me?
like the five of us,
Like-
or the three of us, or two of
The
us,
four of
or
us. The four of
what-
us.
there's five of us. Unless you're
The-
making a reference to Ismark not being able to talk.
No, why would I?
There's actually 6 of you, because Zoot's there.
Oh yeah, because
I'm
Zoot's
thinking,
here.
I'm thinking Zoot,
Okay.
you, Lizadora, and me.
I forgot Zoot was here. Okay, yeah, we can do that.
I forgot to
You
send
know,
you
I
that.
don't know
Kels.
how talkative Zoot will be. He seemed kind of quiet recently, but
Zoot just sort of grunts and he's like looking out the window forlornly, thinking. Like Zoot has a thinking face on.
Wow.
It's
Disturbing.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
little
little
bit.
scary.
a little bit. Kelsey, I sent you something in Messenger.
I don't know that it's so much Athena we need to talk about as
Leave me alone. I'm thinking.
is what we're doing next. I have no strong feelings either way about Athena. What I have strong feelings about is where we're going.
Well, what happened at the manor? The whole point was that you were going to bring this dragon back and that we
Well,
would
we
have an
failed.
ally.
and
At
we
that
didn't
again,
fail.
as usual,
It's not
as you would expect, we failed.
done. We need his head or part of his remains or both. I don't know.
Unclear, which are in the swamp, which is, so we've been told, certain death. So my vote is we go back to square one and look for the god's damned sword that we were told on our first day here to go get.
And where is the sword?
Tyler,
Alright, pull out the
Isadora
map.
knows the map. I do not remember.
So you the map is irrelevant. You know
There's a picture
from
of the sword on the map.
but they weren't necessarily in the spots that they were in the world. They were
fuck.
just on the map.
The map. Yeah.
What do you need to roll a check to see if you remember what Ava told you, or do you remember what Ava told you?
I'll roll a check.
I'll roll a check.
None of you have keen mind, so you can't just have it.
I think I do.
You have the
don't
keen
I?
mind feat?
No, that
I don't
was a
think you
nat
do.
20. Is this history?
Or not?
This would be history, yeah.
Are we playing with the new rules, Tyler? Are we playing with the 60 rules where 20 is an automatic success?
Definitely not playing with the 60 rules, because
All right.
You wanna know something amazing
I have
now?
thoughts.
16
I
total.
also got a nat 20.
Okay, so
Well, I have -4 to that, so 16 over here.
have -3 plus 8 is 25.
Winter's got it. Why did I roll?
okay, so couple things.
Yes.
You
Let me
know,
get my journal notebook out, just to make sure. 1 second.
you remember from that
Yes.
group fortune telling
Yes.
that she gave you 4 things, and she sort of laid them out of, you would find first a symbol that would help you in your struggles, an icon in a house of dragons.
Was that really our first fucking thing?
Yeah. Second, that you would find a tome. You would find knowledge of your enemy in a tome.
We got that.
In a nest.
Hey,
in
we
a
got that,
in a
guys. We got one thing.
in a nest of ravens, which you think you've been able to put together that you found that. You would find a sword of sunlight behind a set of
That's what I'm
behind a set of amber doors.
The amber doors. I knew the doors. Don't know where the amber doors are though.
And that an ally in your quest could be found in the mountains to the north. A wizard of immeasurable power who has been rumored to exist there. And you've heard of that person. You remember hearing stories very early on in your first encounters in the village of Barovia about the wizard who sort of led this ultimately unsuccessful revolt.
Yeah.
That's what you remember
That was
from Ava.
That was different from the Argynvost challenge, right?
The wizard was different.
Yeah.
And
All
maybe
right.
easier north in the mountains to find.
So, did anyone pick up a symbol in the House of Dragon in Argynvost?
No, we probably have to return his remains. That's what this says. And I show the letter.
What does it? Ugh. What does the letter say, Sam?
I read it. No, I mean it basically is like it sounds. Let me send my messenger. Give me a second.
Look at my new pen.
It's so cute.
Athena? Is she there?
I'm here.
How's the hunting going?
I'm like literally eating in real life. This is like pretty good. Like I have some pasta.
Are you staying? Okay, so the tower is on a little peninsula in the lake. You've gone sort of back into the woods.
Yeah.
How far away from the tower are you?
Not too far. I wouldn't say I'm too far.
Can you all make perception checks for me real quick? Those of you who are not Athena. I just want to know if you heard the like scream of the animal that she killed.
I got another 20, y'all.
Yeah,
Do
randomly.
you want our passive perception?
Yeah, it would be. I guess it would be passive perception, wouldn't it? Because you're not really listening
Yeah.
for her.
16
Okay.
is my passive.
Yeah.
I'm wasting all of the good rolls right now.
Hector, what's your
Wait till
passive?
battle and
16?
you get like 5s.
Oh, my passive is like 13. So if we're going by passives, I don't hear
All right,
shit.
Isadora didn't hear it. Who's got
my that's me, sorry.
Oh.
My passive perception is 17.
Okay.
I'm trying to do like 2 things at once right now, sorry.
I've got the letter too. But yeah, Winnie and Hector, you both hear this sort of like screech of an animal in the woods to the south. That's it.
Wow.
Nom 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 nom.
So you give them the letter here. I'll just put it in the group so that you can all see it. There you go.
Oh dear. What does this say? The knights have fallen, and this land is lost. Is there gonna be... Where did you find this? You're muted.
Zoot just says, in the top of the tower on the roof at Argenvost's house.
And I'm sorry, I really thought we were acting on better information. How did you transfer this as take the bones to the manor? I thought that was what you were told. This is a generic letter about I'm going to die, maybe my bones will be scattered. Where in here do you see take the bones to the manor?
So then Zoot says, the dragon statue told me.
Oh, okay, that makes me feel better. That makes me feel much better. Thank you, dear.
Yeah. I'm learning my letters, but I'm not an idiot.
Sorry, I am back.
Says.
That was bedtime. Sorry.
Bedtime. Yeah, so you hear from Zoot that and Hector backs him up that it's not just this letter, but it's the letter.
Yeah, great. No, that makes me feel better.
And the sort of blaring message from this gargoyle statue of returning the beacon, returning the bones to the proper burial place.
Tyler, is there a bookshelf, any sort of mini library here? I can look for Sword of Sunlight Behind Amber Doors.
Not here. There's not really. I mean, there's a few stacks of books that you can kind of page through, but they're all, as you start to go through them, they're all kind of like weirdly scribbled sketchbooks. Some are like they've got like different ingredients for healing and different potions, but nothing that's like historically useful to that specific question. No.
I think Will is
we
dead.
Research.
Did you try contacting her?
No, I have the spell, but I was afraid to, I think. Winter, I will if you want me to.
I'll go sit in a corner. And
I'll close my eyes and cast Sending.
Mm-hmm.
And just say, Willa, if you're out there, your sister needs you. We need you. Let us know you're all right.
You wait a bit, and nothing comes back.
I'm going to pull Clouds and the hedgehog push pin out of my backpack and walk over and put
hang
the
on, let me
stuffed
get the
sheep
prop. Hang on, let me
and a
get
little the stuffed sheep, and the other one is a pin cushion that looks like a hedgehog.
I only have the sheep.
So get Varda and Craig.
And I'm
Here's
just gonna
the
kind of, oh my god, hand them gently to Winter, and then go back to the table. Give her space. Oh no, the sheep is the one thing that's gone.
No, the
I give
sheep
you my
is
hedgehog.
gone.
The sheep is gone.
That's in Notstrad.
But you
Get
have my
outta here.
dog, and I'll give you my hedgehog, and I just walk over and I dump my backpack full of gifts onto your lap. Like, I'm at such a loss, I'm just going to and it's like garbage. It's like a silver spoon, and like a series of letter blocks, and like a tiny little notebook that's got doodles of the stars in it. Like, it's bizarre random objects, but she's just gonna dump them all in your lap, and then go back to the table. There is a hedgehog pincushion. That's the closest thing to a stuffed animal.
I have a crocheted not T-Rex, Triceratop. Let me go get that. I have so many stuff.
And Zoot's just like, are we giving presents? I have 16 letters by lady. Should I give the
39.
39 letters from... No, okay. I'll keep them. And he just looks back out the window and goes back to thinking.
I just want to say, before Athena gets back, that I'm sorry. And yeah, it's starting to feel a little hopeless. I'm starting to feel a little hopeless. I'm so sorry. I don't know what to do. Well, I have an idea of what we need to do, but it feels like
Nothing we do makes a difference. In a good way. A lot of what we do has made a difference in a really terrible way.
You asked who's the leader and who's going to lead. And the truth is, none of us ever really led. We kind of led as a group. Yes, we bicker and don't always get along. I don't know, but I'd be lying if I said I'm starting to feel like this is all just a waste.
And you just hear a plate smash into the ground. And Irina stands up and just glares at each of you.
So much.
A waste?
What did I do?
The only reason that I am alive right now, the only reason that my brother is alive right now, is because of you.
Well, I mean, technically he would have been alive if not for us as well, but...
You did not see what they were going to do to him before these four showed up. Winter, you and your sister, Isadora, you, Zoot, you saved us. You kept the monster away from our house. The idea that you would think that you have not brought hope to this land of hopelessness is... I'm sorry, Winter, you are the smartest person I know, and that is the stupidest thing I have ever heard you say.
Oh my god!
Yeah. I would still be in prison. Most likely. There's always hope. Just gotta know where to look.
And Ismark sort of has like written something on a piece of paper and he hands it to his sister. And she just reads it and she just kind of chuckles. And she looks at him and she says, do you really want me to tell this? And then she just kind of like says, I cannot, and just sort of folds it up and hands it to you, Isadora.
Oh my god!
You gonna read it now or later?
I'm overheating. Are you fucking kidding? Are you fucking kidding? She's gonna read it right now.
Hector will definitely bug you, by the way. What does it say? Liz?
You actually, out of character, you can call me Lizadora. You cannot call me Liz. Liz is my mother's name, and it feels very weird to me. You cannot call me Liz. Is
fair.
fine.
That's fair.
Lizadora is fine. Liz is weird.
Liz is not there.
Liz is weird for me. Okay.
Noted. Is?
I think you
Hey.
broke Mel.
What does it
Wait.
say? Hector turns to
It's
Irina.
about
Was
this
it something
time
good?
that there's this like silence that's overcome the room. That Athena, do you spider climb back in or do you take the elevator back up?
Oh my god.
I use the elevator.
Okay, so you just sort of hear the chains start to rattle and the police turn, and you sort of peek down over the edge and you see that it's Athena coming back up.
Yeah.
Winnie just does this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hector will give her a kerchief.
Thank you.
I'm surprised you didn't just climb up the wall.
No, that's your lipstick. You missed the whole like yeah. Right there.
We'll just leave it for now. In case I get hungry later.
Goals. Queen.
You got some schmutz.
Just a quick question for the group. We think we're sleeping here tonight, right? We think this is where we're going to sleep for another 8 hours before we leave here.
I'm assuming that we are waiting for Esmeralda to come back anyway, since she is the one who knows the most about this land and will be able to assist us. No, I would hope that you all rest
Fantastic.
and are not
Wonderful.
leaving anytime soon.
That's my vote. Just wanted to make sure before I, hypothetically speaking, use any higher level magic spells that we might want if we were out fighting things. But if
Do you
we're
still have
staying
the
here, then we
ring?
don't
You can
need
still
to-
you can put your spells into the ring again.
Right, yes, I should probably fill that back up. Give it here. I'll dump a couple cure wounds until it's full again, toss it back, and then I'm going to think very hard about a 25-word message.
To whom?
Oh, it's gonna be to Ismark, so we can actually talk, hopefully, but it's gonna take me a minute. Out of character, it's gonna take me a minute here.
Okay.
Is it off?
Yeah, you got it. Good job.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. I've seen Zoot eat worse.
That's true.
That's very true. Welcome back.
Oh, the people pie.
I wish, but no. We went to school together.
You all hear wolves outside. I need you all to roll initiative. No.
Oh shit.
Irina just sort of like looks around the room and takes stock. And Athena, are you I need you to be completely honest with us. Are you a threat to anyone in this room?
Are any of you, Strahd in disguise?
You all
Could just
kind of,
answer the question. Yes.
just kind
or
of
no.
look around.
No. I do not wish to harm any of you.
Okay.
Trust me, if it was my intention to eat any of you, I would have done it by now. I don't...
That's the line you want to go with right now?
Well, she said she wanted me to be honest.
It does make me feel a bit more comfortable. To be completely fair, the vampires that I have come across in this land do not, well, there are very few that hold conversations with mortals without attacking them.
Well, you have to remember, I am half mortal. I can sustain myself off of food, but I have to eat a lot of it. I Googled that. But I prefer to just sustain myself off the blood because it's easier.
Makes sense. You just hear, doesn't even look, just looks out the window still. Just makes sense. I don't know where we're going, but I'm sorry. Please.
Well, I just thought I'd say if it makes you feel any better, I haven't killed anyone to eat them.
Irene just sort of cocks her head. Just like, what? Can you elaborate on that, please?
I mean, that seems pretty clear. I mean, I've also killed people and haven't eaten them. But I'm also not a person
Same
that eats people. So
Unfortunately, I am. We haven't talked about that in a long time.
what?
What?
It's a
What?
long story.
You just hear
Kill me! I'm gonna wake my mom up. I need to stop screaming. I keep saying. It was a one-time thing, except I was addicted, so it was a several-time thing. But I didn't know at the time, and then we killed the people who were doing them. It's a long story. Hey, that was a good thing we did. When did we kill those hags? That was a good thing we did.
Oh yeah, I helped with that.
The people pie.
Have we discussed what we need to as a group? Yeah, have we done the team thing that we need to do?
No.
All right, can we do that?
Yeah.
Should we? We can. Do we know where we want to go first, or should we wait for Esmeralda, or?
I'm sorry, are you all coming with us? I assumed you were staying here and we were journeying on.
Ismark he cannot speak at the
Yes,
moment, but
good.
he's getting better every day.
Oh, less good. Okay.
We were planning. I mean, this is. It seems
It's
like.
your home.
It seems like
Do what you
the
wish.
group of you could use
If that's true.
numbers. There is strength in numbers. So
Yes. Of course.
we are
I don't
coming
care
with
where
you.
we go. Winter has my vote. Wherever she wants to go, I'm throwing my vote there. Ismark, would you like to take a walk outside, not here in this room?
And he just sort of like eyes open wide and he like vigorously nods.
I look over to like Hector and I like lean in and I'm like, is she always like this?
I'll tell you when you're older.
Yes, in fact.
So Isadora and Ismark hop on the elevator and make their way down.
Zoot, you should probably follow just to make sure they don't get into trouble.
We have a chaperone! It's okay, this is how Isadora was trained. You always have a chaperone on a date. You do not date unattended.
And Zoot just sort of like nods and opens one of the windows and just flies out the side of the tower.
Makes sense.
Welcome back, winner.
Zoot's gonna fly over you while you
Okay.
go on your walk.
Can this game just be all of us trying to impersonate James's character?
No, vetoed.
Gotta give people what they want.
Is there like any balconies on this tower?
There's the scaffolding on the outside.
I hate all of you.
Oh, he absolutely is, Jeff. 100%.
There's scaffolding around the outside on one of the sides.
Hector wouldn't to be clear, Hector is not, he does not care about what Isadora and Ismark are up to. He just wants some alone time to himself, so he's gonna go out on the balcony and just kind of stare up at the sky, lay down on the scaffolding.
As we go outside, I will like come to a stop, and I'm gonna really pretend that I need to touch his face to cast this spell, even though I absolutely do not. But I'm gonna really pretend that I'm like touching his face to cast sending. And I'll just say, I can do this twice today. 25 words. I'm sorry and going to do whatever I can to make it right. You deserve that.
And you just hear back, make what right? What? You've done nothing wrong.
All right, I'm gonna need a break to type this out again.
Okay, so we go back inside the tower.
Please cut.
To Winnie, Irina, and Athena, just sort of sitting there.
I think we got off on the wrong foot. I'll say this to Athena.
Oh, darling, you've no reason to apologize.
Oh, I wasn't. That wasn't an apology.
It's just a statement. I think we got off on the wrong foot. That's kind of typical Winnie.
Yep.
But what I wanted to say was, if you're going to be traveling with us, I agree you should have a vote. But you should know, yes, we might bicker. Yes, we might argue. But we all need to work together. Ultimately, we can't. How do I want to say this? It oddly works, whatever it is we're doing. And you can be a part of this team if you want to be. But if I were you, I wouldn't go around bossing people around. It doesn't tend to work very well. I've tried it. Trust me. Like, I think that's why I got so stubborn when you started saying, shut up and get in the cards without any sort of information about who you were and what you had done. And I would just appreciate it if you are going to be a member of this team that Do you see what I'm trying to say here, maybe?
I do, and I understand where you're coming from. But if you do remember, I never told you to be quiet. I told everyone to be quiet because you all were quarreling out in the village after they just healed you. It wasn't proper decorum. That's the only reason why I did it. And additionally, if you remember, I consulted with the rest of your family and let them know that I would be more than happy to wait. I wish you no harm, Winter. What is your last name? Okay, you don't have to give it to me. It's fine.
You hear a voice from the balcony that says, "You know, bossing people around, telling them to not be bossy is really ironic." And that's it.
I know. I'm trying to find a good way to say this as Kelsey.
And
I've been
Irina
prepping.
cuts in and is like, "But we love your wife. I just have to say, she is wonderful."
She's so nice.
How's she doing? How does she look?
Not 300 years old, so that is something that we will have to. Not to say that you do, but she is certainly not as pale as you are. Like you, it sort of makes sense, the whole undead, half undead thing, but there's no sign at all of anything like that. She looks
Beautiful.
Vistana.
Not sure if she is Vistana, but she was always beautiful, never as pale. Winter, I'm sorry about your sister and that you're missing her. To get a better grasp on all of you, would you all mind sharing what her dynamic was like among you? Who she was?
I can't.
Or not? It's completely up to you.
I'm literally crushing this hedgehog cushion pin right now when she brings up Willa.
Hector is silent on the balcony.
If you wish to seek her out and find her, I will of course aid you in your quest. Family is very important.
Yeah. I throw something at Hector.
And Irina just says, we all appreciate that. I think they will need some time.
Of course.
I'm half too. Not half vampire, but half elf.
How are you?
Nothing against halvesies.
Yeah, it only
Actually,
uses
it's
half
really
as snooty.
embarrassing that I'm full human. I really should have some gnome blood, and it's a bit of a scandal where I'm from that we don't.
Well, that's good to know. I'm used to people not really liking me here because of that fact. So, I appreciate you being honest.
I am really sorry. And I'll just walk away after that one.
And I walk away.
All right,
To the
Liam.
other
All right,
side
Liam
of
over.
this 10 by 10 foot room.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please take all of my
Well,
things with
I'll
you. I
probably
don't want
walk
any of
to the
them to get
balcony.
lost.
Classic Vax.
I'll walk to
Vax
the
just
balcony
jumps
with
out the
you, Sam.
window. Isadora?
I have a 25-word message, man.
There we
I
go.
made a word counter typing this out. This is the only other one I can send, so I don't have to do it again. It's fine. Still obviously touching his face because that's how this magic works. This is a touch spell.
Totally.
How are you touching his face? Are you like?
Oh, it's like it's like a I can't handle this. It's like y'all, I'm so touch starved in real life. Clearly this is seeping in. It's like a a cheek, like a jawbone, not a jawbone, the
Jawbone.
cheekbone.
Like a jaw heart.
The cheek. I'm not touching his fucking jaw. It's too close to his fucking neck. I'm gonna puke if I touch his fucking neck. It's like a cheek. It's like a cheek. It's like a cheek touch. I hate whoever just did that.
And
I'll,
yeah, I was gonna say, what do you send?
I'll just send I didn't know, but it was my fault what happened to you. I can't forgive myself, but I won't give up either till the end.
And he just sort of nods. He doesn't say anything back.
Cool.
He just,
Cool.
but he does reach up and sort of touch your hand that's on his face and just sort of pulls it down and holds it in his own.
Cool, yeah. I'll hold his hand. That's nice. Nobody's touched my hand in like, it's fine, like 15 years. It's cool.
You two make your way back to the tower.
In character, to be clear, people have touched my hands within the last 15 years. Yeah.
In character. You
Sure.
mean out of character?
Out of character, people have touched my hands. In character, no one has touched her hands in like 15 years. Out of character,
There
I
it is.
receive not enough, but an appropriate amount of
Oh
hand
boy.
touching.
All right.
But we're gonna move on.
We
Let's
heading
get
back to the tower.
Let's cut,
Okay.
please. Let's
Isadora,
cut.
Ismark, head back to the tower. Anybody else have any other conversations they want to have before y'all bed down?
When Winter comes out on the balcony, Hector will have a comically large spyglass.
And I literally will be saying, "Yo, what do you see? Did they kiss yet?
No, she just keeps on touching his face. It's weird.
How's she touching his face?
Well, it's like I guess she's trying to do the spell, maybe, but like I don't know.
It's
I
not
think
a touch
she's
spell."
well, no, she's avoiding.
Savage. Savage. Really gonna out me like that?
She keeps on like she's avoiding his jaw though. I think it's like too close to his neck, and she doesn't want like.
All right. Isn't there like a gaping hole there that or
Yeah,
maybe not?
no, yeah.
And Zoot just alights down next to you. What are we looking at? Yeah, she was touching his face. It was really weird.
I hate everyone so much. Are we taking
But
a
now
break
what are they
yet,
doing?
Tyler?
We're getting there.
Now
Whenever y'all
now
want to
what
go
are
to
we
bed,
doing?
we'll take a break. But Hector brought
what
out
are
a
we doing now?
spyglass.
Hector, what are they
What?
doing now? What are they doing now?
Well, no, she just keeps on touching his face. I don't know. But you said it's not a touch spell, so I don't know.
It's not.
They've now made their way back to the tower.
Well,
You
they're
can
holding
no
hands
longer
back.
you can
Are
no
they
longer
holding hands
see
up?
them.
They're walking
Through
back
the
to the tower.
spyglass.
I don't know.
You hear the elevator. Fucking hell, Sam.
Remind me to infuse that spyglass. Future.
That'd be a good one. So you all, anybody going once, going twice?
I'll just say to Hector,
Mhm.
look, I'm sorry I died. Thank you for bringing me back. I think Willa's dead, and let's stick together, please. Thank you. Hug. Cool.
Cousin love.
When we hug, Hector will say, "We'll find her."
Yeah. Yeah, I'll hug you, but I'm not gonna touch your face.
No, that would be weird.
No, wait. I got it. Ready? When they come up, I just have my hand on Zoot in Hector's face.
Yep.
We
Yep.
just
That's
got
so Isadora, as you you get all the way up on the elevator and you just see Winnie sort of on her tiptoes with her hands on their
I quit
faces.
this campaign.
Hector will say,
Isadora quit
"She's
this
casting a touch spell."
And Athena's just observing the weirdness. Yep. All right.
Right, yes, because to catch touch spells, you need to touch people. We all know that. It's so good that she's touching you to cast a touch spell. This is, in fact, the way you have to cast touch spells. Yes, I'm so glad you're demonstrating. Thank you, Winter.
You're welcome. These are the various spells you would cast that are touch spells. You know, there's Cure Wounds.
And Irina just says,
there's-
I am going to bed. I think you all should go to bed. Winter, you especially look exhausted, as do you, Isadora. So I think we all should just sleep.
What's the sleeping situation like here? There aren't beds, right? That's too much to hope for.
There is one, we've been letting Ismark have it so he could recover.
Great, yes,
but
that should continue.
he is better now, so perhaps you and Winter should share it since you are overcoming such a difficult
yeah,
circumstance.
she can touch my face.
Oh, you and
And-
Ismog.
Zoot, I need my bedroll, please!
And Zoot just reaches down and throws it at you.
Good night, everyone!
At some random point of the night, I'll just scoot over to Lady Isadora and be like, "Yo, can you touch my face?"
I thought this was going to be a sweet, emotional moment. And instead, here you are!
It's okay.
I'm gonna roll over and touch her face.
All right. And Hector, y'all going to sleep? Athena, you going to sleep? Or you
Yeah.
staying up?
I am going to go to sleep, but to make them more comfortable, I will sleep somewhere else.
Do you sleep upside down?
I don't answer.
Smart. You just head downstairs. You know, sleep on the
Yeah,
first
I
floor.
actually go to sleep in the cart.
Oh, okay.
Hector would probably. Are there like any trees kind of nearby?
It's. I mean,
Like
you'd
on
have
the
to.
shore of the lake.
You'd have to go walk back to the woods. You'd be sort of on the forest line
Okay.
to sleep
He'll
in a
just
tree.
He'll sleep downstairs then.
All right. So you all head off to Dreamland, and we'll see what awaits. We'll take a break. We'll be back at around 9:20. We'll take a 5, maybe stretching to a 7. So thanks for being with us so far, and we will see y'all in a bit.
Got chunks on top of my chunks.
Hey, and we're back. So you have all gone to sleep. Night falls.
What do vampires dream of when they take a little vampire sleep?
Oh god.
Do they dream
All
of
right, all right, all right, all right,
humans?
all right, all right, all right. We're gonna get flagged. Stop it.
We're telling you, we just need the musical episode.
In the middle of the night,
Oh no.
In the still of the night?
you hear murmuring outside.
Do we now, Tyler?
I need. Let's see, Athena and Hector, you both said you're sleeping downstairs.
Yeah.
I need the two of you to make perception checks.
Uh,
19.
21.
You hear a singular male voice that you've never heard before. Either of you.
Is it Van
God damn
Richten?
it, it's Van Richten.
I'm fucking outside in a fucking tent. And my little. And I'm a vampire.
What is the voice saying, Tyler? Can we make out what it's saying?
I would say with those rolls you could. You hear the footstep, like singular footsteps, and then the sort of clomping of horse hooves following behind. And you just hear, strange. There are candles in the windows upstairs. I should see what is afoot here. You wait here. Keep an eye out, and I will be back shortly once I've assessed the situation. That's what you hear.
I think Hector would do his best to sound scary and intimidating, and he'd be like, "Halt, friend or foe?"
And
Roll for
you
initiative.
no, you hear a very irate response. Halt! In my own home. Who are you?
Oh, you're Van Richten. Okay, Esmeralda told us all about you. And Hector will kind of, he'll come out with his hands like, up, showing that he's, got no weapons. Like,
Make a dexterity saving throw.
oh, good. 21.
Yeah, you sense it before you hear it, and you hear the like twang of the crossbow string, and you sort of step to the side, and you just and it like sticks right in the side of the door frame next to you where you were standing.
Hey.
What? Who are you, and what are you doing here?
Okay. Just calm down. I'll let you know. No more crossbow bolts. My name is Hector Station.
It's a weird
Looks at
name.
Kelsey.
She's asleep. She didn't hear you.
No, I know.
I just feel it in my dream.
I met Esmeralda a couple months. Wait, I don't even remember. How long has it been in character?
About
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, a couple weeks. A week.
A couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Myself and my compatriots, most of whom are up in the tower currently, along with Irina something last name and Ismark something last name.
It's the same something last name for both.
Right,
of
I
them.
don't know. I don't know last name. Anyways, Esmeralda brought us here. She said it would be a safe place for us to just rest and recuperate from some of the wounds that we had
And where is she now?
gotten. According to Irina, she went out about a day ago and said she would be back in about a day.
She went out. Why is her cart there with?
Well, okay, so
What
she loaned us the cart.
And you just, as you keep talking, you see him like catch a scent, like a literal scent,
Oh no.
and begins like slowly stepping back towards the horse and like reaching into the saddlebag for something.
Okay. Listen, I know you're like this renowned monster hunter. Gonna be totally upfront. There is a vampire in the cart, but she's good. She helped us and our friends, and is good. No staking. No need for staking.
You let a blood drinker into my home?
Well, technically, I didn't let her. It was more like, she just kind of did it. And I did nothing to stop her.
Good job, Sam.
Yup.
Amazing.
She also apparently doesn't drink human blood, just animal blood. Which that's true, at least of the one time that I've seen her drink. So 100% of the time that I've seen her drink, it has been animal blood and not another human. So I think that, really, if you think about it, that's, good for her.
I know of Dampier, and they are not to be trusted.
Fucking bigot. We know this about him, though. We know this about him. We're gonna kill Van Richten.
I'm listening, by the way. Like, she is fully prepared. If he does anything to you,
Yeah, I mean, so far she has given me no reason to mistrust her motives whatsoever. She's been true to her word and has, as I mentioned, he helped us bring two of our friends back from death. So I'm in her debt.
Then you are a fool, boy. How many are in my home now?
Well, let's see. We've got Irina, Ismark, Quinn, Isadora, Zoot. I already lost track of how many people that is. Is that 5? 5. Then myself, and then Art. So there's like 7 of us, give or take.
You can tell, Hector, he is behind the sort of like thick goggle-like glasses. He is like spinning calculations in his head.
trying to figure out if he's can take us
Murder
all.
Yeah. Yup.
I mean, I feel like Hector would probably be able to surmise that because Hector has probably done similar calculations in the past. So Hector will just be like, "Look, I know what you're thinking, and yeah, you maybe could, but there's no reason to. We're all friends here. We all have the same goals."
I am returning in 1 day's time. When I do, none of you will remain. Understood?
Absolutely. Is there anything you'd like help with while you're here?
I work alone, boy. And he just turns and begins to walk away.
Esmeralda says otherwise.
Oh, Hector!
No response.
Yes,
He just
Sam!
keeps walking.
That was so good, though.
So Hector will kind of like go up to the cart, knock on the door.
I'm gonna open it.
Yeah, so he was kind of an asshole, right?
Are you all right? If he would have tried something else. And just to be clear, between you and I, if a human falls in battle and they are fully dead, I will drink them as long as we have no intention of bringing them back.
Oh, well, yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, waste not, want not.
Yeah, you know, it's like... if
Hector,
you're not
pragmatic as always.
Yeah.
Exactly.
all right, yeah. It's just easier, you know, because the job's already done. It's just
Right,
there.
exactly. Yeah, no,
Like
no,
you
that
would
makes
turn
sense.
your nose up at a nice pot of soup just sitting there.
Well, yeah, so I mean, it sounds like we gotta vacate the premises. He'll be back tomorrow, so
Yes, so,
we rest tonight, head out in the morning.
but what about Esmeralda? If she's coming back sometime tomorrow.
Well, I mean, she was supposed to be back today.
Oh,
She hasn't returned. I know that Isadora can sometime cast a spell that talks to people, but I think she needs to touch their face in order for it to work. So I don't know if that spell will work since we don't have access to Esmeralda's face. But if I don't know if there's another way that she
think-
could maybe cast it.
I think
she doesn't
that
have to
she
touch
can
the
do
face.
it without touching the face.
Oh,
But
okay.
I think because she was in front of Ismark, the connection is greater if you actually touch. Based on my, run-ins with magic users.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so maybe there's a way that she can cast the spell without touching the face then.
Oh, yes. I think she can do it in emergencies.
Okay. Okay. No, that makes sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense. Okay. Well,
I
yeah,
know
maybe
it's
we can
meta.
ask her.
But Athena just won so many points.
You don't know. You don't know. Isadora doesn't know.
She does. She feels it deep in her soul.
Let the
and
hate
likes Athena just a
flow
bit
through
more.
you.
Well, yeah, maybe we can ask her. Anyways, we should probably go back to resting and,
Yeah,
whatever.
I'm going to just do a quick peek on the others just to make sure. Oh gosh, another wolf.
She's just like hiding it in the cart, like it's half eaten.
For some reason, my lovely beagle won't stop barking unless I pet her continuously, which I'm doing now. Okay, anyway, what I was saying, I'm going to do that thing that I don't know if you're impressed or horrified by it, but I'm going to make sure everyone's doing okay. And then she'll
which thing are you
proceed
talking
to
about?
spider climb up the wall, just to peek in the window to make sure everyone's sleeping soundly and they're safe.
If you peek back at Hector, you'll kind of see him go like a.
Everyone look good, Tyler?
They all are fast asleep.
All right, good. And then I just back down.
Was everybody all right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They're perfectly fine, sleeping soundly. I'm sorry if that scares you, but it's just so fast.
Oh yeah, no, it's just too many legs. You know, it reminds me of a spider, and the spiders they have
Oh,
like twice the
you
amount
know,
of
it's funny
legs,
that
and
you
it's
say that.
like a thing. And
Oh, in my family, we actually call it spider climb.
oh yeah, no, it's like a spider. Yeah, so
I'm all black, you know.
yeah, it's just too many legs. Like I said, I mean, I know that you don't have the legs, but just like I said, it's reminiscent of the spider, and that
Yeah,
you know,
no,
it's not a
completely
fan.
understand.
Yeah.
All right,
Anyways,
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
go
go back
head
to
back
sleep.
to the car.
Yep.
If you want to head back up to your tree.
I wasn't in a tree. I was just in the bottom of the tower.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right then. Good night.
And you two head back to sleep.
Yes.
Okay. Morning comes.
It's beautiful.
You slowly wake. Those of you that were able to sleep. Winnie Isadora, you are knocked down another one.
-2.
Taking your time, recuperating.
Yeah. So when Hector will hear people stirring, he'll go up and inform everybody about Van Richten's visit last night. So yeah, he says we need to leave.
But surely we cannot leave without Esmeralda coming back.
I mean, maybe there's a way we can leave a message for her or something. I mean, there was you know,
Oh,
she was
I can
supposed to
do
be back
this. Wait,
yesterday.
hang on. This is what I'm good for. I'm gonna fucking all I do is cast sending anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and cast sending to Esmeralda, and say, "Hey, boo, missed you. We're at Van Richten's place, but he's back and scary. We need to leave. Where can we meet you?" I don't know. That was 25. I didn't count. I'm assuming it was close.
You get back. The sort of like puzzled voice. I am with him now.
Nope, I knew that was coming. God fucking damn it.
I saw him as he was leaving towards Valaki last night. We are coming back. He explained that he saw the boy, and we will work it out.
Everyone, we don't have to leave. Esmeralda and Van Richten are together. They're heading back. Everything is chill as a pill, according to her.
What's a pill?
Where were they?
Oh dear. It's a thing that helps you lose weight, actually. You have to or sometimes reduce scarring, or sometimes acne. Sometimes it induces vomiting for a variety of reasons. There are different ones also that you can crush up to make your hair grow longer and shinier. We've got to get you on a regimen, dear.
Athena comes back inside and she is carrying meat from the kill from her night before. And she just kind of like opens the door and just like deposits it on, like, I guess if there's a dining room table or something. Good morning. Hello. I know you all need to eat. And I don't eat this bit, so I figured that I would give it to you to cook. That's what you do, right? You cook the meat. You eat it.
Yes.
Here you go.
Wait, so Isadora, where did you say they were?
On their way back.
From where? Did they say where they were?
Tyler, I know you literally just said this.
She said, I met him on the road as he was headed away from the tower towards Vallaki.
Great. Yeah. Close-ish. Right, I knew I heard Vallaki, but I was like, there's no way they're all the way back in Vallaki.
No,
Okay,
on the road towards Vallaki. Yeah,
on the road, yes. Yes, they're on the road towards Vallaki. Should presumably less than a day away if you guys had him last night, so they should be here soon.
Wait,
you look beautiful, Athena. If you want any makeup, I have a lot of it.
And then she just leaves. She just walks out. And if you like look outside, she's just kind of like pacing back and forth.
Oh
and
God,
just,
we got another Isadora.
And then she comes back in. And she's like, okay, thank you for the offer. That would be nice.
Okay, makeover. Come here. I also have a lot of dresses. If you, not that yours is lovely, but if you just, mine have not been worn in like weeks, so it would make my heart sing if you want to look at them. But let's do your face first, and then we can see what matches with the dresses. Actually, no, dresses first, so then we can match it with your face.
Perfect.
I'm coming up with a plan of how we're gonna get all the stuff we need to kill Strahd, and the planning on the map of where we should go first.
There's a lavender dress, and a light pink dress, and a light blue dress, and a black dress with a lot of silver sparkles in it.
Oh. So do you think any of these will fit beneath my armor?
Yes. I can. You know what, Athena? I want to make this a new beginning for us. I would cut them for you.
You what?
I would. Not all of them, like one. If you can pick one to wear beneath your armor, I would cut that one.
I wouldn't ask that of you. I have an idea. She'll rush back out to the cart. She'll bring in her bag. And she'll just kind of dump it. And there's like a dress, and there's some makeup and some perfume bottles, and my dog.
And the wolf back in the cart.
Yeah, and she just kind of spreads it out. How about, so I would deplete your stash. You use some of this on me.
You have a lot of blood reds and whites there. I'm happy to use those, but if you want like a little bit of something soft and pretty and girly, a pink or a gold maybe, we could really liven you up.
Oh, that was a good joke. Yes, I imagine that I should look a bit more living. You don't happen to have anything to make my eyes look less red, do you?
No, but I know some tricks with some eyeliner. I can do some magic things around your eyes that will draw the attention away from them. I learned that while I was blind.
You were blind?
Right, yes.
Fascinating.
Long story. I wasn't all the way blind. And really, the blindness wasn't the problem. That was actually completely fine. That I got used to it very quickly. It was the scarring around the eyes. That was the makeup. But you are a canvas, dear, and I am so excited.
Yes, by all means, work your magic.
Hector starts preparing the meat.
I'm gonna do Athena's face as lively and like pretty and girly as humanly possible.
Okay.
Brush the hair. Zhuzh up the clothing.
It takes you maybe about a good half hour, 45 minutes to get this makeover going, and
I really went, what if I came out as non-binary and designed my most aggressively feminine character at the same time? I don't know what happened there.
Mel's having a very meta moment tonight.
No, Tyler, I think you just broke them.
They're really, yeah.
That's what happened.
The struggle is real. Oh boy! Nice.
Combat. I need the character to be done.
So we get to it. It gets to the point where you would imagine, okay, if she caught him on the road in the morning, after he'd left, and they're returning, you start to hear the telltale sounds of horses sort of trotting towards the tower. Are you all
Right, deep
staying
breaths. I'm
in the
giving her a
top
shoulder
of the
massage
tower? Are you
now.
coming down? Are you?
Would the scaffolding have a view like of the approach,
Um,
or is it on the flip side?
it's on the sort of back left side as you're looking at it on the screen.
Okay. Okay.
So it's
So
a bit
probably not.
behind. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can see it out the windows.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just keep an eye out the window and make sure that it's Van Richten and Esmeralda.
I feel like I shouldn't be in here. You didn't hear that man last night. He sounded awful.
Yeah, he was not very nice. Okay, hang on. Everyone else should go outside and we'll pose you on the bed. The one bed like a Victorian painting.
Thank you. I'm going to act like I don't know her because she doesn't know me. And
Right, no, of course. You don't know her, but you're still beautiful and alluring and she needs to fall in love with you immediately. True love isn't real and all that, but
we could try, or alternatively, I could spider climb out the window, go hide somewhere, and then she can meet all of you. And then when you can send me a message and let me know when it's safe and that awful man isn't going to kill me or you, and then I can make an appearance in the town.
can we stay here one more night? Just because that spell is pretty hard for me to cast. And I've already cast it once today, so I need the time.
Right.
I can do it, but like if we're going to go out and fight, it might be better if I don't.
Oh,
But
no,
if we
no,
think we're
no.
going to stay here, that's fine. I can do that.
Understand. I don't really know if we're allowed to stay here. I'm worried that when he arrives, he just might kick us out anyway.
That's a
But-
good point. Okay.
So we'll just plan for the worst. So I'll spider climb out to the tower, and if everything is all good, you just shout for me, very good hearing, and I will come running. But not
Okay, that
running,
sounds
because
good.
I will walk.
Spider climbing. Yes.
Well,
and then
no, I
very
won't do
calmly
that. I
walk in
cannot do that in
with a
front
hip
of them.
sachet. Oh, right, yes. You'll come hip sashaying up from the elevator.
Perfect. Wolves. I'm gonna go see if I can shut them up. I'll be back.
Sounds good.
Spider climbs.
Hector, you're keeping an eye out the window. Winnie, what are you doing?
Winnie is writing.
Huh?
Writing all her notes.
I didn't know if you were doing anything special as Van Richten and Esmeralda approached.
I'm
Right.
designing some things.
Okay.
But I wouldn't.
Just-
I've been trying to plan our next move. Trying to just take everything. Write
So you're
everything
not
down.
even, yeah, Winnie's just not even. And similarly with Zoot, he's just sort of still like distracted, clearly distracted, staring out the back windows and just sort of spending a lot of time by
Did you
himself.
say that he's like not present?
He feels just not present in the space. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
So you sort of hear the horses sort of pull to a halt and hop down.
Is it the same rude guy?
All right. Come down from there. Let's all talk.
I'll go outside the tower.
I'm cooking. Do you want some meat?
I have within my power the means to take this tower down with a single magical word. You should all come out now.
Power word crumble.
I mean, would you really do that to your tower though?
I
mean,
do.
I walk out. I walk out.
I'm going outside.
Hector will come out with the skillet, just like meat still burning, just like, I mean, I could keep this going for like a minute or so, but then it's gonna need to go back on the fire. So, what's up?
I think we should all have a conversation, yes? And Esmeralda sort of steps in front of who you presume to be Van Richten at this point.
I'm gonna glance at Esmeralda and say, we have a new friend with us. She's very beautiful and very intelligent and very kind and really just incredible. Also, she's a Dampierre. We would like for her to join us, but we're a little worried about your friend killing her. So can you guarantee that he won't kill her? And then I can bring her out and she will take your breath away.
But not literally, because I don't eat people.
And Esmeralda sort of looks at you a little bit, and she looks back at this sort of old, wizened man, but he just has this like scrunched, pointed nose and this like shock of white hair on the back of his head, and he just looks perpetually pissed off. And he just sort
Are
of
you Rictavio?
he just sort of shakes his head. Perhaps your new friend can come to the door and watch from there, but
Okay.
not come any
I think
closer.
she's like behind the tower, but I bet she can step just out to the side. Stay like 100 feet away.
Have her keep her distance.
Okay. Athena, it's all right as long as you stay a little bit far away.
She'll
We'll stand
step
back here
out.
with you.
She'll step out from around. No, it's fine. I'll just stay back here. You all. Oh, and she just kind of like looks at Esmeralda, and shut up, Harley. God. And she just kind of doesn't say anything. She just her eyes are welling with, I guess, blood. But
you can.
But,
you're half human. You can have tears.
Oh, thank God.
You
Her
can
eyes are welling
have
with
blood
tears.
tears.
Her eyes are welling with tears, but she doesn't say anything.
All right. Now that we are all Ismark, you are looking better and happier, it seems.
It's a new face touching technique, I hear.
Now that we are all together, let's just... Where is Willa?
She has fallen.
Right. I'm so sorry, Winter. Hector. Do we have a new ally? Were you successful at the manor? What? Before we deal with him, and she just sort of gestures to this like old curmudgeon behind her. Tell me what happened.
Well, long story short, we started exploring the manor, and then there was a room, and there was a skeleton guy in the room, and the skeleton guy said leave, and I said okay, don't have to ask me twice. And so then everybody else was like, we're just gonna stick around, and then the dude was like, hey, leave, and I was like, don't have to ask me 3 times, and everybody still wanted to stay. So then 3 of the party members died: Willa, Isadora, and Win. And then it was just Zoot and I. And then Zoot and I found Athena. And Athena helped us to get Isadora and Win to the Abbey over in Kreshk, and the abbot helped us out there and resurrected these 2. And
her eyes get really wide when you mention the abbot in Kreshk.
And then, we brought them back here. I mean, we would have done the same for Willa too, but her body was gone, so we couldn't find it. And then, You tried to talk to her, right? And you didn't get anything. Any response? So I
You
don't.
saw the abbot in Kreshk and lived.
I mean, seemed like a nice enough guy.
In fact, we actually left with a net positive of living people. Should we not have? Was that?
She just kind of looks back and says, "That's interesting. It's very interesting." Okay. Okay. This new friend of yours we will deal with in time, but for now, we are now down our most powerful magic user. We have Ismark. Ismark is wounded. We have the two of you, and she kind of gestures to Winter and Isadora, and you two look like you've seen better days.
It's not great now.
We have no dragon ally. I mean, they'll probably be fine in like 2 days.
I feel like this is where
if I
Duke
had
comes
to
in and
guess.
he would say, "Yet."
What can we do to help you?
Well, Win was working on a plan, weren't you, Win?
I was.
Well, what do you got?
Well,
Let's hear it, kiddo.
so we have a. Oh, okay. So. Okay. Apparently, we were told to get 4 things, right? A symbol, an icon from the House of Dragons, a tome of knowledge on our enemies, which we think we have. That's the journal that we have of Strahd's. A sword of sunlight behind amber doors. We're figuring that one out. And an ally in our quest, a wizard of immeasurable power from the mountains that we have heard of. We haven't gone there. We know that one of the dragons, we got this note from the dragons about laying their remains to rest. Perhaps that could be the thing that provides us the symbol from the House of Dragons. We'd have to go to the swamp and deal with Baba Yasaga if we wanted to do that. It's also another place where the last resting place of the Fanes were, if we wanted to pursue that anymore. I need to find a place of knowledge to find out more about the Sword of Sunlight, unless our friend Van Richten knows more. Well,
there you have it.
You have the Count's journal, and this is the first I'm hearing of it?
I mean, all you did was show up last night for 5 minutes and be a dick, so there wasn't really time
Give
to tell you.
Give it here right now.
Whoa.
Where is it?
I have it.
Be a good little girl and bring it here.
Pardon me. If I may,
Hector draws his whip.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Van Richten draws his sword.
Wait. Okay, fine. We can't fight right now.
You can't.
Correct, but also
The collective royal we.
You are all very, how should I say it? New. I have been dealing with this evil for decades.
Man, you don't have to
And
journal,
I've been dealing with this evil for 321 years. Is this a competition?
If you talk to my sister like that again, you won't be dealing with anything.
Your sister.
Your cousin.
Blood drinker,
It was cute.
be
Yes.
happy
Close
that
enough.
you are alive. in whatever sense you are alive, and that I've allowed you to remain alive in my presence for this long.
Power word kill.
The book, please.
Give it to him. Win. It's all right.
Okay.
We have what we need.
I'll hand him the book.
He just grabs it. Tucks
Does
it.
he check that I gave him the right book?
He would know that it is the book. Do you give him the
So I
right book?
also-
I should say, do you
Well, I
give
have
him
another
the book?
all the way. Well, the funny thing is, didn't we establish he was also Rictavio in the Blue Water Inn in episode 7?
He is, yes.
Because I made a copy of his book, Oddities.
Yeah, he would know
And
that
I have-
it's... He would know the Oddities book, and he would know
Damn it.
Strahd's handwriting, so...
Wait, you don't get to keep that.
He's
You
already
wanted
tucked it into his saddlebag on the side of his horse. Deal with that later. Fine. You mentioned the Fanes.
Yes. We've got 2. We need to get the 3rd.
What you have two? What do you mean you have 2?
We purged the evil from their original shrine locations. I was told of a 3rd one, which lies in the swamp of Barrettes, which also happens to possibly be the place where part of the dragon's remains are.
And the other 2 were where?
Yester Hill, where we also were able to recover the special gem that belonged to the Wizards of the Wine, and the windmill outside of Vallaki that was inhabited by a coven of hags, eating and making the dream pies out of children.
He just sort of leans into Esmeralda's ear and whispers a bit.
Can I roll a perception to see if I can hear what he said,
Yeah.
please? Is it -2 now?
Yes, -2.
Okay. Perception. So that's still a +6, so a 16.
You're trying to pick it up, and you're kind of able to pick up some words, but as you are like listening intently, Esmeralda just blurts out what he was saying to her, and apparently you are correct about the windmill. That area seems to have been renewed in some way, but I can assure you he has just come from Yester Hill. There is...
Well, look, that one's we got a rain check on that one because we killed a bunch of stuff and we got that, but there was a barrier up last we were there and they would not let us in.
That makes more sense.
So Zoot suggested we have to get the 3rd one, the one at Barrett's, before we can fully cleanse Yester Hill.
Interesting.
But we are well aware that Yester Hill isn't fully cleansed.
So what do you plan to do?
We were going to... I was hoping you might have some information about, since you claim to have been here for so long, about some of these locations that we might need to visit.
You've mentioned items, not locations. The swamp is a death trap. I would... If you need to go to the swamp, go to the swamp. I wish you all the best. Maybe let the blood drinker go in first. That would be my recommendation. Clears the way for you.
Have you ever heard or seen amber doors?
Amber waves of grain. Any of the above?
Oh my gosh.
There's probably no fruited plains here though.
There are. There is old knowledge of a temple deep in the mountains to the southwest. That's all I know.
With amber doors?
If there is a sword of sunlight somewhere in this realm, it'd be there.
That sounds like a good place to me to start. Acquire a sword. Step A.
It is
We also need
not. It is not. I'm telling you this as if I've lived here. I've hunted here. I know this place. You don't think I've tried to go to that temple? It is. If the swamp is a death trap and inhospitable, the passage to the temple is beyond.
I retract my statement. What do you know about wizards in the mountains to the north?
You mean the Mad Mage?
Yes,
Yep,
him.
that's the one.
The Mad Mage. That is. And you were told this by you need to go see this person. Esmeralda just sort of like looks really curious about this specifically.
Madame Ava of the Vistani outside Barovia. She's also the one who mentioned the doors, so that's a bummer.
Well, being down a magic user, it might be good to have a mage again.
Are we about to double the party size, y'all? Tyler said, I'm sick of you guys dying. Have 6 NPCs.
And they all know resurrection.
Technically, I know Oh, no, I know Ray's dead.
If the goal is to stay alive and to kill Strahd, you just hear Zoot from the back. Yes, obviously the goal for all of us is to kill Strahd and do it as quickly as possible, but we need to do it in a way that ensures we all survive and that we can succeed. Finding an ally who's rumored to be that powerful may be the right course of action. But you said you need to the bones to get the dragon. I'm still confused.
Me too.
From what we've been told, there are 4 things we need, and one of them is a symbol or an icon in the House of Dragon, and we just came from Argynvost and we didn't get anything, but this letter from somewhere about bringing remains, and the statue spoke to our Wyvernborn about bringing the remains back to the mausoleum.
May I see the letter?
I don't have it.
It's in the messenger.
Hector's got it.
Oh,
Liana,
Hector-
meta-wise, it's in the Facebook Messenger.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Hector will approach Athena and give her the letter to look at.
Tyler, when I look at this, because I know it is from old times, correct?
Old
Yeah,
I am also from old times.
you are from old times.
Is there anything I can glean from it?
You,
I am very smart.
I mean, you would definitely remember the stories of. I mean, you knew where you were when you were in the dragon's house.
Yeah.
You knew about the the Order of the Silver Dragon. You obviously you weren't in Barovia during the sort of Argynvost's uprising and trying to defeat Strahd, but you know of it because of your family's connections to Barovia and what's happening. So you would know kind of the veracity of what that letter's saying in terms of there being this sort of epic final battle with a dragon that transforms from human form into its fully fledged sort of silver dragon form. I think that's probably all though you'd be able to glean just because the letter's so short.
Tyler,
Mhm.
was there like a lighthouse at Argynvost?
There's so Hector and Zoot,
We showed you.
and yeah, you
there's
saw
like a
the sort of
beacon.
beacon room with the 10-foot tall windows that
That's the
sort
one
of
that you
overlooked.
climbed up.
Yeah.
Was there like a pedestal in there?
There was a brazier, but it was cold. There wasn't really anything lit in it.
I think I might have an idea.
What?
Do not fear death, though my body will die, my spirit will live on. Let it serve as a beacon of light against the darkness. His head.
Right, it's in the swamp.
Yes, if we get it back, we should put it there.
Right.
Well, we have to put the bones in the mausoleum. That's what the statue said.
Is that what the statue said?
And then it lights the thing. Then
It
light
lights the thing that we were
happens.
standing in.
Zoot, did it say all the bones or just some bones?
The head is the only thing we can get. If we're being realistic, his bones have been scattered throughout the realm.
If the skull is in the swamp, well, I won't tell you what to do. I don't trust folk who commune with such things. Looking at Athena.
I look at him back.
And just
Yeah, you do.
happy for you all to be out of my home and on your way wherever the road takes you. Please leave. Thank you for the book.
Right. Yeah,
Hector, you just hear Winnie kind of laugh a little bit. And I just nudge you. I gave him the fake one.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Yeah, and if I just infuse one more item, I drop that one and he doesn't have it.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. I can defuse items too.
I don't know what that means.
You know, there's infuse and then unfuse, defuse.
Isadora, would you mind gathering my things from the tower?
Yes, of course.
Yes,
Thank you.
we will all grab our things. Irina just sort of like goes into Irina mode and starts to like gather you all.
I love her.
We will make a. Esmeralda, would you be joining us? Not at the moment, but I will catch up with you. I need to handle a few things here first. We have a certain beast that needs taming, and she just sort of looks at Van Richten.
Is that a tiger?
Yes, it's a tiger. Winter, come on, you know that. We know you're smart. You don't always have to be. Okay, yes, we get it. It's a tiger. He let the fucking tiger out.
I didn't let him fucking hang out.
Gather your
Alright.
things. Yes, Athena.
Is Van Richten by his bag?
He's next to his horse. Yeah.
If any of you come my way, like just like walk closer to me. Why am I doing that? Hector,
Huh?
could you come here a moment?
Yeah. Hector walks up.
Do you still have the skillet?
Yeah, it's cold. It's cold.
Stop sizzling. It's like Applebee's, but like an hour into the meal. Fajitas are cold.
If there is a way for you to distract the angry old man, I might be able to retrieve that book without him noticing.
Oh, it's okay. Wind can make it disappear in like a day.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. I was going to say I can move things with my mind so I could just pluck it out and just hide it somewhere until we need
Yeah,
it.
no, that's a good idea. But yeah, no.
Yep.
He
Okay,
won't have
yeah.
it in like a day. It'll be great.
Oh, good. He's quite nasty.
Yeah. Nope. Not a fan.
Right. So, she's not coming with us?
Who, Esmeralda?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think for now they have to deal with like a tiger or something.
Well, can't he deal with it himself? He's nasty enough.
Yeah, it's true. Hey, Van Richten.
Yes, boy.
I mean, if you're supposed to be this legendary monster killer, couldn't you just deal with the tiger by yourself? Or are you too old? Maybe losing a couple steps?
I'm inside packing up stuff. Just want to say. I am inside the tower, safe behind thick
Listen
stone
here,
walls.
guys. We had an NPC tell us to get out of a room 3 times, and y'all didn't listen to me. Hector gets to have his dumb moment, okay?
Oh, no,
yeah.
I'm letting you have this moment. Don't mind me.
I think,
I don't
if
like Tyler reading his book this closely. I really don't like it.
if I may, is Esmeralda over there by him?
Mm-hmm.
If I may,
No, we gotta start calling Van Richten Vinny. You gotta call him Vinny, Sam.
Okay.
I think
$5.
that it might be good to have you with us. Esmeralda, is it? Because I was questioned about being in your cart, and
Wait, didn't you say
I
that was your
feel
wife's
as
card?
though it would be best to have you with your cart when traveling, so that we don't look suspicious. Also, she's really low charisma, so I'm trying here,
This
guys.
is brilliant. This is brilliant. First, Van Richten sort of looks back at you, Hector, and just shakes his head and goes, "The fact that you think I need to explain my actions to the likes of you is amusing at best, pathetic at its worst."
Well, that's much more than I can say for anything that's come out of your mouth, so.
Athena, it was.
Vinny.
It was Athena. Yes, I think it's all right. You can take the cart, and I will catch up with you shortly. We've made it work before.
Right. Of course.
I'll find you. Isadora will keep me updated as to your movements, and yes,
Yes, I'm a.
I'll find
yes, of
you.
course.
Yes, okay, you will
Call me a raven.
find us. Great. Understood.
We're gonna go kill Strahd, right?
Yes, we are, Zoot. But
Let's go.
you have to understand, we gotta check up on this thing first because it's going to help us kill Strahd.
Yeah, that's fine. But we're leaving now, right?
Yes, unless Vinny has anything else to say, any more threats he'd like to make towards us.
He's just walking to the tower.
Did he leave his horse?
Just leaning on his cane. He took the saddlebags off. They're just over his shoulder. He's got his cane in one hand. And he's just booking it.
Oh, we should have reset the code on his door. What was it, 427 something? All right.
Before we head out, I think Hector would like kind of open the door and be like, "All right, we're leaving now. Just to let you know, in case you had anything else to say."
I will see you all soon.
What? Oh.
You're heading to where first?
What's the furthest one away from Van Richten? Because that's where I'd like to go.
I think the wizard in the north was where we wanted to go first because that seemed like the least likely death place.
Okay.
So we were going to go with the wizard first, so we had a magic user to bring with us to the swamp and the amber doors. So north, up.
Well, east first, and then up. Mount Baratok is north of the castle. I will find you on the road.
We'll check in with you. Once in the morning, once at night.
That will be fine.
Right.
Oh, tell Richard we said bye.
I will pass on your kind words, Hector, as always.
And Ismark and Irina are with us.
Yes.
I want to die. Here we go.
Hector turns to Zoot and says, "Richard's a nickname for Dick."
I don't know what those Monthraki words mean, but if you say so.
Okay, I will keep in touch. Dravash, and she just says the word and the horses conjure. You best get moving. Take the day, use the daylight, stay on the road, all the same tricks. Just stay safe, and I'll do what I can to see if I can find anything out about Willa.
Thank you. I'll see you soon.
Good luck. Stay alive.
You too.
And she just walks back into the tower, and the door shuts behind her. And that's where we'll end tonight. Oh, what, Nell?
I was just
Go.
gonna say, I think she really liked you, Athena. I think there were definitely sparks.
Great way to end it, on Isadora boosting up the new girl, and the new girl just tears, just single tear.
I tried.
Did great. So thank you, everybody. Thanks for those of you who are new. This is the first Another One Bites the Dice session you've ever attended. You're welcome for the bottle episode.
No.
You're welcome
for
for
the
the
donation.
recuperation
They donated.
planning episode. Hey, thanks for
They
the donation,
donated
y'all.
$5.
Hey.
Shout out to Dude Efficient.
Woo! Cheers in the chat. Anybody got plugs? Wait.
If you
yes.
want some sick ass AI art, go check out our Discord. You can pay James $3, which he will then donate towards QuilmarCon to get some sick ass AI art. If you're in State College, check out the Green in-person event in like a week. It's gonna be absolutely fucking amazing. And keep an eye out. Tyler's gonna be running a game
More
next
events
month.
are
I'm gonna be
coming up.
running an
Yep.
event next month. John Sparagowski is going to be running some shit, so we're doing lots of fundraising stuff. It's all a good time. And I got to speak up for my bro. Check out Goddamn System Agnostic.
Yes.
It's up on YouTube, and it's going to be fucking sick.
System Agnostic, we've got so much going on. We've got Once Upon a Town this Tuesday. We've got First Class on Wednesday. Both of those are on Twitch. We've got System Agnostic Thursday on Twitch. We've got pretty much we're at like other than Friday, we've got a game a night this week because Alien Colonial Marines plays on Monday in person. So craziness in Quelmar, so much going on. So stay tuned to the Twitch channel. If you haven't hit up the Discord, join our Discord channel. All the events are posted there. You can find games online or in person in PA, Maryland, Delaware, other places. And
if any of you are in New York, let us know. We'll do an in-person game.
Do an in-person game in the city. So same in Connecticut. Probably not though, because none of you all are in Connecticut. I would have heard about it. So we will catch you next Sunday. Same bat time, same bat channel. Until then,
keep
Keep rolling.
rolling the dice.
Nice.
nice.